Moving on is actually your success and not your failure. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Naya, and on this channel we talk about my personal experience with the law of assumption, my perspective of this universe and all the laws of the universe, and so much more. And on Patreon we even reiterate that even more if you guys are interested. And we are doing a challenge this week about stop worrying about what it is. Now, why am I on earth saying that moving on from an SP, from someone, from a desire is actually your step towards success and not towards failure? I think that majority of people, and this is only my humble experience, now I'm going to explain why I think this way, and if this doesn't resonate with you, remember that our assumptions create, so you do you always. Don't let's not argue in the comment section, because I do believe in quantum physics and I do believe that we create our own reality. Therefore, there is no statement that is right or wrong. We are all right, so we shouldn't argue about who is right. You are right in your own reality, okay? However, I do like to bring different topics, and I do like to explain myself and my experiences, and that's what I do on this channel. So there is in this community of the law of assumption, or even the law of attraction, or any spiritual community, especially the law of assumption though, the idea that persistence is key for everything. However, even though that is true, I think it's largely misinterpreted as neediness. Many people interpret persistence as beating the drum of I don't have what I want, hence I will get it, 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 I will get it. And the more you do this, you got to be honest with yourself. You are not moving on from your old story. You are still holding that identity and the reality of the version of you that doesn't have what you want, and you are needing something to happen in order to feel happy. But here's the catch. This is not what persistence is all about. And I personally do believe that Neville Goddard didn't meant persistence in this way. So let's talk about what is my intention for, what do I mean by moving on from an SP or from a desire, and why do I perceive moving on as a success, and how it's so much correlated to persistence, true persistence. So if you beat the drum of what you don't have, and you don't change your identity around it. So you're trying to get something in order to feel happy about yourself, in order to feel content, and you affirm. You might get it. You might get the manifestation here and there, even a hot and cold behavior with an SP. But what is actually happening is that you have not moved on from the old version of you that has caused the breakup in the first place. You didn't heal at all. You didn't change any dynamic, neither conception of the person or of yourself. So chances are, even if the person comes back, you didn't change enough to sustain the new version of this person, or the new version of you that is in a happy and committed relationship. And the same goes for money. Let's say that you've manifested money, but your conception of self didn't change enough. You will lose them because you go back, let's say, to a concept of you that is always afraid to lose. So this entire idea of persisting when you are in a state of neediness and desperation doesn't really help anybody. And I don't think that this is what Neville meant with persistence. You have to accept the breakup. You have to, in my humble opinion, of course, this is just my opinion, you have to accept the lack first. Because many people, and this is normal because we're human, when we lose something, when we want something, we tend to do the opposite of what we should do, which we tend to hold on to it, grasp it even longer, and just, this energy of beating the drum of what I don't have, because we feel most of the time that the things that we lost is the source of our happiness, and we completely lose track of the reality of the story. And essentially, on a manifestation level, we are trying to change the mirror and not change ourselves. It's like you're putting makeup to the mirror, but you're not really putting makeup on you, and so nothing really changes, and the mirror washes away. That's what you're doing when you're not moving on from and you're not moving on, and you're not accepting the breakup, you're not accepting the loss of money, you're not accepting where you are right now. So I'm all about manifesting in an effortless way. And the reason why I'm all about manifesting in an effortless way is because I tried to manifest with the persistence that many people imply. It works, but it's so draining. Manifesting in an effortless way is also a Neville Goddard state. It's a lot easier. It gets results faster. But on top of that, you live in a process where you are building yourself up, and you're building in a process where you are doing something healthy for yourself. And when you get your manifestation, you change so much your identity that they now become very sustainable to you, because you are the version of you that is healthy, is already committed to yourself, is already whole and complete. Because here is the catch: we desire things, and let's be honest, there's nothing wrong with desire whatever you want to desire, but we desire things because we perceive that we're going to be happy when we get them. There is no way around it, or at least we will feel happy, fulfilled, our obstacles will be removed. But since we know in this manifestation community that the beginning and the end are known, creation is finished, every single desire contains in them its solution, which is the end. And the way it has to unfold, it's not for us to control or to know. That's already like, let's take a deep breath around this. We know creation is finished. Every single desire has inside its solution, and I don't need to worry about how it's going to unfold. Let it out. Free yourself. And then in the moment that I desire something, I know that I'm in the lack of it. Let's say I give the SP example because with specific people or special people, this is what many people are trying to manifest. Many people trying to manifest a specific person coming from the heart of the separation. For the majority of people, now it's not for everybody, but for the majority of people, from the hurt of he left, she left, I've been rejected, of the heartbreak. And they are trying to problem and fix the problem immediately with tons of affirmation. But I am more about just accept that you broke up, accept that he left, accept that she rejected you, accept that, and move on from that story. Move on with what? First and foremost, with self. First and foremost, accept and realize that some of your behaviors, some of your thoughts have created that in the first place, or have created the fear for money and then the losing of money. By accepting this, it's not that you are punishing yourself. You can even affirm I'm forgiven and all is forgiven, but you sit into a state where you don't have the desperation and the neediness for anything, and you start to heal from whatever has happened, and you start to purge out the old story in a healthy way. So that's what I feel when move on from the person, move on from whatever has happened, and go back to self. I always say this: instead of beating the drum of what you don't have and affirm even more, when reality is triggering you, you go back to self. And you go back to self, and after you ease down, you do some soothing inner conversation, which I'm going to make a video about inner conversation, not just in relationship to an SP. Then in this state, you can objectively see that you wanted the relationship, or you wanted the money, or you wanted the career because you wanted to feel happy when you were in that situation. You want to be happier than what you are. And so this is the time, after the acceptance and you moved on, this is the time to commit to yourself. This is the time to show yourself that you are choosing you. This is the time where you prove through your self-concept in a way, but not just by affirming I'm a goddess. I'm telling you guys, like, I am a cocky bitch, okay? If somebody gives me a compliment and they tell me I'm beautiful, I'm a goddess, my answer is, I know. I'm a cocky bitch, and I'm telling you, people don't like cocky bitches. So stop affirming like a banshee about this stuff. It's self-concept is not only about that, but it's more about I am becoming the person that I love and adored. I am choosing myself. I am marrying myself. I accepted that I have created the situation in whatever shape or form. I accept the breakup, and I'm moving on from that old story. I'm moving on from that version of me, and I'm taking the time that I need to heal from this version of me that has created that, in order for me to deconstruct that identity, and I talked about it on Patreon, and create a new identity that is already living in a state of mind of commitment, healthiness, and attracting the right person, or my specific person, or recreating the version of them. But you see how much this is all naturally to your feelings, and it's moving on is not a failure. Moving on, it's about moving on from whatever has happened, accepting what it is, don't worry about what it is, and going back to self, going back to the source that has created everything. Once you go back to self, it could take one day, it could take 5 minutes, it could take a week. It depends on you. Once all is forgiven and you commit back to yourself, you go to your blank state, then in this general state of peacefulness, it might be not happiness yet, but at least is peacefulness, you can start creating your affirmation, and you can start manifesting again without feeling though the neediness for anything outside of you. Because remember that we only create, or we shift reality according to who we are. Yes, according to our dominant assumption, but reality is a mirror reflection of you. So because everyone is a mirror reflection of you and everything is a mirror reflection of you, it is important to understand this dynamic. You want something, you desire something because you believe you're going to be happy when you get it. So how can we feel happy now? How can we feel peaceful and content in a healthy way? And how can we get into that state in an effortless way? And we get into the state by not denying emotion, by not pushing harder, by not grasping harder, by accepting, by moving on and going back to self. Once we go back to self and we are peaceful, we take ourselves out on a day, we do all those wonderful things that we would like another person to do for us, we start doing that for ourselves. That is the best way to work on your self-concept, in my opinion, by the way. Then from that general state of peace, grace, and forgiveness for ourselves and the situation, then we can go back and affirming for specific things, because the lack, the neediness, the sensation of I need this, I need to grasp it, it's gone. And then it becomes more sustainable and realistic to manifest for, or to rather affirm and visualize for a specific outcome. And this is persistence. Persistence is not about pushing harder with the sensation of I need this, and I need to grasp it. Persistence is about the natural movement of your mind from a state of lack, the acceptance of what is, and persisting in the new story and the new identity of you, and the new conception of the things that you want. So moving on is not a failure. Many people think that moving on from an SP is a failure. Many people think that moving on from their specific manifestation is a failure, and they get caught in this persistence, which ends up burning them down. No, moving on is success. Moving on and going back to self is always the key. That doesn't even mean that you cannot get what you want, but you are going to get what you want when you realize that the paradox of life is that life is a mirror. And we forget who we are, and we manifest and create our reality to remind ourselves that we don't need anything outside of us, but everything is inside. We are the source. But how can you feel that you are the source of creation when you are in that state of wanting to grasp something? You can't feel yourself anymore. You're moving to grasp it and to want it, and you're desperate. Move on, accept what it is, move on, go back to self, and then you're ready. Then you are ready to manifest back. And then I want to conclude this video with one of my favorite sentences from Florence Scovel Shinn. Now, I do understand that Florence Scovel Shinn is different from Neville Goddard, and she goes very general. I do resonate a lot with her. However, this doesn't have to be your cup of tea if it doesn't resonate with you, and I totally respect that, because I'm not saying that you cannot get your SP. I actually have a course on how to get your SP with my formula. I've manifested more than a specific person. This is just, my thoughts. That's all. It's my opinion. So I want to leave this video with the sentence of saying, once you go back to yourself, you commit to yourself, just say to yourself, whatever is mine will always be for me. And if it's not mine, I don't want it. Now, Florence had an entire idea of this when it comes down to specific people and things like that. I know from personal experience that when you let go of something, which you're not really letting go of anybody, but you're letting go of the lack and the neediness, you are accepting what it is, and you know in your heart that you are not alone, you're committed to yourself, that you're God of your reality, and what is yours will always be yours because creation is finished and you don't need to grasp anything. You can just receive it. By saying this very sentence, then everything that you want gets manifested. Because yet again, life is a mirror. It's proving you this paradox so that you don't need anything outside of you to be happy. And when you become the things that you want, they come to you, or you shift reality towards them, whatever you prefer. You understand what I'm trying to say? You cannot lose what is yours, and if it's not yours, you don't want it. And think about it, even when it comes down to your NSP, you don't want the version of them that rejected you. You don't want the version of them that treated you badly. That version of them, it's not yours. The version that is yours is the version of them that is loving, adoring you, and respecting you. So when you say, I only want what is mine, and I cannot lose what is mine, and if it is not mine, I don't want it, you are moving on from the old crappy version of whatever it is that you have created, and you are literally implying and saying to yourself, I'm only going to align to the best version of me, the best version of my person, the best version of my reality, because if it's not for me, I don't want it. And because you are God and you deserve the best, and you cannot be divided from your undivided love, abundance, and wealth, of course, what is not for you, that's what Florence meant. What is not for you is rejection, is lack, is desperation. So I want to say the sentence again. If it's not mine, I don't want it, but I cannot lose what it belongs to me and what is mine. And what belongs to you as God of your reality is undivided love, wealth, abundance, and the version of your SP and the version of your career and job that is the best that you can possibly create. So moving on is not a failure. It's actually your step towards success. Okay, I love you guys, and I hope you appreciated this video. Sorry if it was a little bit longer. If you want my course for manifesting a specific person, the link is down below, where I teach you my formula. And for extra videos and our challenges, they are on my Patreon, and I see you very soon on this channel as well. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.